1,
2,
3, 4,
5,
and 6.
Hello. According to the Texas Department of Transportation, in 2009, nearly one-third of the total traffic fatalities in Texas were caused by drivers under the influence of alcohol. These deaths are entirely preventable if only someone took the keys or decided to have a designated driver. My name is Kim Vasquez, and today I want to educate you to make the right choice when it comes to drinking and driving. I will give you the statistics and the laws and tell you about the consequences of making decisions to drink and drive. I will also inform you of groups that you can be a part of and will give you and your family information to make the right choices. By the end of this, I hope to persuade you to make the choice not to drink and drive. Getting stopped for drinking and driving is a serious offense. It's commonly referred to as DWI, driving under the influence, or DUI, DWI, driving under the while intoxicated, and DUI, driving under the influence. It's a serious offense and can have different consequences depending upon where you live. All 50 states have a per se law defining that it is a crime to be with the blood alcohol content, or BAC level, above the prescribed threshold. According to the Department of Transportation, every state has set the maximum BAC level at 0.08%. Mothers Against Drunk Drivers, also known as MADD, M-A-D-D, report that every year over 16,000 Americans are killed by drunk drivers. That is equivalent to one person dying by a drunk driver every 31 minutes. Drinking alcohol affects your judgment, your reflex, your depth perception, and your cognitive functions that are necessary to drive safely. Drivers under the influence are more likely to get in a serious car accident than sober drivers. By the time you reach the limit of 0.08, your muscle control is poor, your judgment is impaired, and your ability to detect danger is reduced significantly. Some of you may want to know, how do you know when you've had too much? DrivingUniversity.com states tolerance of alcohol is different, and your BAC can be affected by many factors like weight, gender, and of course how much you've eaten. The best defense against DWI is not drinking and driving at all. Like I stated before, legal limits around the entire United States is 0.08%. As far as the consequences for these offenses, they vary from state to state. As for the state of Texas, the Texas Department of Motor Vehicles listed the following consequences for drinking under the influence, or drinking and driving. They will impose fines. They can suspend or revoke your license. Require you to take drug education programs. Add points to your license. You could be sent to jail, and your insurance premiums can go up. As a result, you have a criminal record. This could prevent opportunities for employment. Depending on the job you have, you could lose it. This not only affects individuals, but it affects the family as well. Court costs and fees become overwhelming. And the most horrific thought of all, not the lawyers, not the jobs, what if your actions killed someone? Could you live with yourself for the rest of your life? Let me paint this image for you. 2 years ago, on June, my friend's father was driving on Highway 529 on an early evening on his way to celebrate his daughter's birthday when he was hit behind by a drunk driver. He died at the scene of the crash. He was a husband, he was a father, and he was a grandfather, and he was lost at the age of 48. His daughter will never remember her birthday as a celebration of life, but as a mourning of his death. The driver was only 24 years old. He was so intoxicated, he did not completely realize what had happened until later on. He was sent to jail, and he has a 2-year-old daughter who he will miss out on a big part of her life because he made a terrible judgment. Another grim story is the story of Jacqueline Sobreros. She survived the crash, but her life will never be the same. In September 1999, a high school senior, Reggie Steffen, drove home drunk and slammed into a car carrying 5 people. 2 were killed instantly. Jacqueline, a 20-year-old student, was trapped inside the car. She was badly burnt, and she has no ears, no hair, no nose. Because her fingers had to be amputated, she has limited use to her hands. I will show you a quick video of this young woman, but I will warn you that it is a little disturbing.
My name is Jacqueline Sawin. This is a picture of me before I was hit by a truck, before the car caught fire, before 2 of my friends died, before I needed more than 40 operations. This is me when my life was just like anyone else in college. This is me after being hit by a drunk driver.
You can learn more about her story at facesofdrunkdriving.com. There are many groups out there that you can join and be part of to keep drunk drivers off the street. One significant group is Mothers Against Drunk Drivers, known as MAD. Project Crash, Shattered Dreams, and Every 15 Minutes are just 3 of the many programs being used at high schools around the country. The students and faculty and parents create a reenactment of actual traffic accidents that happened while someone was under the influence of alcohol. The goal is aimed to driving home the importance of not drinking and driving. So as you can see, the facts are present. The laws, the statistics, the grim stories, the victims, and the tips of how you can be safe. There's no reason to drink and drive. Finally, I hope that the information was an eye-opener. The deaths due to drunk driving are preventable and are unacceptable. And I hope that you will use this knowledge to help other people make the right choices. Thank you. Do I have any questions?
I got one. What are some of the tips that you can give about drinking and driving?
Some things that I can give you, some tips that I can give you, is if something my husband and I do, if we plan on having a party, we let everybody know in advance that if they do drink, they have a place to stay or they need to have a designated driver. Some other things that you can do is you can volunteer to be the designated driver one night when you go out. Anybody else have a question?
Do you have to be a mother to join Mothers Against Drunk Drivers?
No, you don't have to be a mother to join Mothers Against Drunk Drivers. It's open to fathers, sons, aunts, uncles, grandmothers. They want to get the word out and get drunk drivers off the street.
How many drinks does it take to get a 0.08% level?
Okay. They usually recommend that not to have more than, depending on your weight and stuff, of course, not to have more than 1 drink in an hour. That means no more than 12-ounce beer, no more than 5 ounces of wine, and no more than 1 shot within that hour. But if you keep into mind what the effects of what your tolerance is to alcohol, and if you've eaten that day, the effects, it's not foolproof. So the best thing to do is not to drink and drive. Thank you guys very much.